The Cimmerian Volume 1 is a collection of Conan stories being published by Ablaze Publishing, and in Volume 1 it collects 2 different mini-series, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. What's up everybody, Trinity here, welcome back to 2nd Street. Let's get right into today's video where we are talking about the Cimmerian Volume 1 being published by Ablaze Publishing, and I've got to tell you, I absolutely love this series. Now, this book was recently put out. It is in a hardback edition. It's got 2 different little mini-series in it, and in each one of these mini-series, they were 3 issues each. Now, it's got, the first one here we've got is Queen of the Black Coast, and it's also got Red Nails, and I am telling you, just spoiler alert, I'm telling you, I love this book, and I am going to tell you why here in just a minute. Now, as I said, this book is a collection of 2 different series in here, all published by Ablaze Publishing, and what it does is it's got these comic series in here, but it also has some of the original scripts in here from Robert E. Howard, who was the original writer of these. You can see here at the very back here of all of these, they've got all of these in here where you can go and read the books that, or I guess you could say the books or this series, these scripts that these comic books were adapted from. And I think that's something kind of cool. They've got that for both of these series in this book, as well as once you get past these 2 series, they also have the cover gallery as well for some of the different variant covers and things that came out for both of these series. A whole bunch of just some good art in here as well as it's even got some of the extras, some of the little concept art and things like that as they were building and getting this series ready to put out. And I'm telling you, this is a beautiful book. It's retails for $24.99 in the US, and I'm telling you, I think it's worth every single penny. Now, getting into this book, I will say that the art is different on both of these 2 series. They are done by different artists, but you know, the art in this series is really good. It's not like the best art in the world, but I think the art in here helps tell this story, and it's kind of dark and it's kind of gritty. The colors throughout these series really help tell that as well, and I really did enjoy these books. The art in them, the colors, the stories that they put in here, very good stuff. Now, what I like about the stories is the characterizations of Conan that we get here. You kind of really get a feel for this character, who he is, without him really telling you a whole lot. You just see through his words and his actions what he is all about. And in this first story, which is Queen of the Black Coast, the writer is Jean-David Morvan. The interior art is Pierre Allary. The colorist is Sadeus, and the letterer is Desi Cienti. And I'll show you those names right there. You can take a look at those. You can see the ones for the other story we'll get into here in just a minute. Now, this first story, The Queen of the Black Coast, starts off with, just Conan giving a nice little narration about, that's, I guess something that happened to him this night before he ends up having to go to court, and how he, his day in court went, and how he fought his way out of court and escaped this town for which he was there standing trial. He ends up hopping aboard this ship, and when he's there on this ship, with these people that he's, decided to just be a stowaway, I guess, he's sitting there, and they all of a sudden get attacked from this other boat, and through the middle of this attack, this is when he meets Belit. And this kind of kicks off his relationship with Belit. He falls in love, and they make sweet love, and they go out and they make war, and they just have a great time together. We can see that Conan falls in love. He has his queen, and they're out there sailing the high seas, and they come across this little town that is known to have treasures, but nobody can get there through all the terrain, I guess you could say, that they have to get there, and all of the other dangers that it presents. We can see they get to this town, they find this treasure, and all of these things ultimately lead to Conan's queen's demise. Belit ends up passing in here as well, and we can see here just through the course of the story, like I said, you see Conan who he is, and you can see him fall in love, and you can see his heart crushed as his love is taken from him. Just everything in here is really good. Conan's showing like some leadership abilities. You can see that he's a man. He's a real man, but he's also got honor, you know, in his friendships and just in who he is altogether. I'm telling you, I really did enjoy this series. You can see some of the art here in this book. I'll show you a little bit for this first series, what you can expect out of it. Just really great stuff coming out of here. I really, like I said, I really did enjoy that in the series, and you can see here once he meets Belit and they end up falling in love. Just really really great story, really good stuff, you know, like real dude stuff. You know, you see him going out there and being honorable and getting in wars, and he falls in love, and he's still a gentleman the whole time. Just really great stuff in this book. I thought this first one was good. Now, one thing I want to say is I tried to read, I've got the next volumes, like what will be in volume 2, in single issues, and I was trying to read those, and these books I feel really read a lot better in this collected edition, just because, you know, like, just for me reading this story, like each issue, I could imagine, I tried to read one of these issues in this second volume. I'm like, oh, I read one issue, I'm like, oh, like I can't wait for the next one, like I want it, but it also feels like it cuts off, and like it's almost hard to get back into the next one, because I'm like, like you're so there in that zone, which is something to be said about trades altogether, I guess you could say. You know, you get the story all there in one digestible volume and don't have to wait the next month or kick over to the next issue, you know, get the next one or anything like that. But I don't know. Now, the next story that we have in here is Red Nails, and its writer is Regis Hautier, and the artist is Olivier Vatine and Didier Casagrain, and the letterer is once again Desi Cienti, and I will show you those names again right there where you can take a look at those. Now, this second story, again, I will show you some of this art here as well. This second story is where we see Conan just kind of out on an adventure, and he ends up coming across Valeria. And him and Valeria end up going out on an adventure together as well. They come across this, they get in a scuffle with a dinosaur. They're kind of in the savage land, if you will. And they come across this temple in which it seems to be empty. There's nobody there. They're not really sure what's going on. And as they get into this temple, they see there actually are people there living in this temple. But there's a little bit more than that, where this temple is actually, this whole city is actually inside of this temple, and there are warring factions inside of this temple, and it's kind of cool and kind of crazy, everything that goes on here. Real Temple of Doom type stuff, if you know what I'm talking about. But we see they get in here, they get into the city, and they're trying to they kind of all get caught up. They're trying to help save these people, but it's just a real mess in here altogether, seeing this go on. And we can see that Conan and Valeria have a good relationship here, working together to try to overcome these things, as she's a fierce warrior just like he is. And in this one, no, Conan's not falling in love, and he's not sitting there trying to, you know, hook up with Valeria or anything like that. Like I said in for the last series, you can see the type of character he is, the man that he is. He's a gentleman, but he's also a manly man, but he's also got a code of honor. And things like that. Just really good stuff here throughout the series. We can just kind of see through Conan in this series, and we can get a little bit more of this art here. I'll show you a little bit more of this art here in this book. Just really great stuff here. I got just in this book altogether. Really good stuff. I would say that if you have the $24.99 to go and get this book, definitely do it. Like I said, it's a hardcover edition, and I'll tell you, I'm not sure if your local comic book shop is going to have these. Believe me when I say my local comic book shop is good about ordering books. They're good about staying in stock on a lot of these things, and I'm telling you, I didn't see any of these issues sitting there on the shelf. And even the new series that have come out since then, which we've got The People of the Black Circle, and also the new series that is going to be dropping in issue number 2 later this week, which is The Frost Giant's Daughter. They have very little left on the shelves, and I'm telling you, my LCS does not under order on these things. They do quite well with them, and so obviously these books are selling pretty good. Now, I gotta say, is this comic book for everybody? Is everybody gonna enjoy this? Probably not, but for me, I do, because I really like just the kind of grittiness in the art, the way it helps tell the story itself, the way it's written and taken from these original scripts, and you can even go in there and read the original Robert E. Howard scripts, and I think that's something that's very cool that they just kind of put in these books. In each one of the separate issues as well, they have those in there where they took these off of the scripts. Just very good stuff, and it's something that I would highly suggest going out and checking out, especially if you love Conan. But I want to know from you. Let me know down in the comments below if you have read any of the Cimmerian series and what you thought of them, and let me know what you thought of this review and everything else down there in the comments below. That's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Second Street Marvel. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe. Click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. That's okay. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. But while you're at it, why don't you make sure that you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel, where we love to talk about indie comic books, especially those like the Cimmerian Volume 1 on Ablaze Publishing. You all have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.